Hi, it's Laurel with the Dabbling Hook. How are you guys doing? Today is... what's today? It's August. It's August... the heck is today? I don't have my phone with me. But it is August something. 13th? I think. Yeah. Anyway. Hi. Just another catch-up clip. Not sure if this will be with the previous clips or in a separate video. Either way, anyway. Hi again. I've been squinting. I have a headache. I've been battling a headache for days now. It pretty much knocked me out on Monday. Today's Wednesday. God. Yeah, that's how my brain is. So, before I get any further, hi if you're new here. Thanks for visiting. Thanks for visiting. I hope you subscribe, but if you don't, I hope you enjoy this clip or this episode, whichever one it ends up being. And to all you OGs, I'm sipping Panera. One, because I have no wine, and two, because I have a headache. Alright, this is just supposed to be quick. It's not going to be quick. It's going to be whatever. Things I've worked on since the last clip or the last video. I think I had shown brain's not functioning. My cowl, my 2-button cowl that I'm trying to make and stock up on, but I need to, in my brain, I think I can get it all done, just work on them, but then, physically, no. Like, I feel the repetitiveness of the motions in my elbow, my left elbow, so I have to give it a break and work on something else. And I work on Amis, and then I feel it in my right hand and my thumb, so it's a mess. But anyway, I'm trying to work through it all to just have them all ready for the fall, so I'm not rushing after each craft fair to prep, but it's slowing down a bit. Slowed down a bit. But I got one more done. I think last time I showed you the gray. All that to say. I don't remember the colorway. It is Hometown Lime Brand, and I had my mom pick out the buttons because I couldn't decide whether or not I was going to do the plain, the honey colored wood, the dark wood, or a different color. So she right away said no to the wooden ones, so I gave her my bag of buttons and she ended up picking that, and it was this and 2 others that I had in mind, and she ended up with the same 3 that she had narrowed it down to, and then she decided on that one. So, yep. And I did end up buying, I think, 2 bags of buttons because it's assorted buttons, and it comes with 20 buttons, and you get maybe 2 or 3 of them that are matched up, and the rest are just random colors. Sometimes you're lucky you get maybe 5 pairs, but a lot of them are individual, so I buy 2 bags hoping to match them up. So I did pretty well this time, but I still have singles. But anyway, that, and then the rest of the yarn I was able to get one, I still never looked up if this is my Sherelle or I think this is the Sherelle headband, not the Kalina. This is a Sherelle. And in the pattern, I wrap it, but I no longer do that. For both knitting and crochet, I've kind of done this cinch thing instead for my headbands. So there's that. That is it. Well, I was gonna say that is it for wearables, but I want to show the Amis first. Hang on, let me get the hats I've been working on. So I've been trying to, sorry if I'm shaking the table. I've been trying to work through my stash of number 4 acrylics, number 5 acrylic as well. Because for craft fairs, I use a lot of the super bulky yarns, and the number 4 acrylic is usually now I'm using for shawls. but I'm trying to work through that. And did I show the last shawl? I'm still working on one. I haven't finished yet. But anyway, I had purchased from Joann before they had decided to close, or before the final announcement. I think it was either late last year or early in the year. Anyway, I bought, I couldn't remember what it's called. Let's see. I bought, nope, I thought it was Big Twist, but it was, did I buy that off I'm pretty sure I bought it off Joann, but I bought some Mandala Impression. It's a number 5, kind of watercolory kind of color scheme, and it's probably not going to show because it's a really small little swatch, but this is what one of them, these are all the colors in the cake, their cakes. There's that one. This one is called Patchwork. And then I don't know if I saved the band for the other. Yes, I did. Rainbow. So definitely. So it's this and those are the 2 cakes that I had. They look kind of similar. Definitely primary rainbow colors with some dark in there. And then this is a more muted one. So Patchwork, Rainbow. So I've had those there for a while. Didn't know what to do with them. I didn't want to knit with them because it would take too long, number 5. So I looked over and I was trying to organize my acrylic stash. And I noticed I had a, I have the package? No. I got rid of it. Oh, there it is. I had a, was it mill end type bag of yarn, and of course that wasn't it. Anyway, I had a mill end bag which came with 2 skeins of chunky yarn, but they were Big Twist yarn. I think it was just Big Twist chunky, and I've had it there for a while. It was black, so I decided to pair the Mandala, which is a number 5, with the chunky, which is a number 5. And I just decided to do something simple. Say that. I just did a 2x2 rib all the way through. So I held this is the rainbow, and I held it with the black. And this is just the way the color started. And I like how this had the little stripes of color down here, went into the blues and then into the purples and ended into like the turquoisey kind of green. This one, I'm trying to think what I did for a decrease. I think I did a regular decrease. I don't remember what I did, but so yeah, I held it double. Works up pretty quickly. You could finish it in a day, but I don't have time to just work through something straight. I just, you know, grab time where I can. So 2x2 with the black. So when I was done with this, what was left of the cake, it had transitioned into the lighter color. So I looked over and I'm like, oh, I have some Knit Picks Brava Bulky in white. So I held the lighter color part of the cake with the white, and that's what was left. I think I ended up with, pardon me, I ended up with, it was just transitioning to the purple. So this is what I had left of the cake after doing these 2. So as you can see, it came out a little smaller, so it gives options. So this could be for a guy, a girl, or vice versa, whichever. But yeah, I ended up with a little smaller 2x2 rib. And I saw somebody, I forget, it was a video I saw of somebody, she was knitting a simple hat, and the way she was decreasing it was a 4-point decrease, and in each of the 4 corners she decreased by 3, knitted 1 in the middle, or purled, whichever the stitch was, and then decrease by 3, and she did that 4 times. So it gives it a very subtle full point, which you really can't tell, but it gives a nice decrease. Because I think the first hat I did like a regular type decrease. So I used that on the other 2 that I'll show, but instead of doing a 3 stitch decrease, I did just a regular knit 2 together. So these are the 2 from the rainbow cake, one with black, one with white yarn, 2x2 rib. And then I didn't want to do a 2x2, so I decided to do a 1x1 rib. It's much denser and I don't know, it feels thicker because everything is closer together, whereas this is, you know, has a bigger space of garter in the middle. So but yeah, so this is the patchwork colorway, the more muted colorway, as you can tell, and 1x1. I didn't even notice that this had that one stripe kind of in the middle. But yeah, and it looks so small, but it stretches like crazy, so lots of options. So that's the 1x1 with black. Same big twist, chunky in black, and then as you can see, I had a just open skein of the white, or half of the white before. Basically I had 2 skeins of the Knit Picks yarn. So this is the rest, where it again transitioned to lighter colors in the cake. So I held it with the white 1x1 rib. There you go. And again, it stretches a whole lot. And you can kind of tell it's kind of squarish at the top. But I like that, and I think I will be using that from now on. I've always been curious about it, and for some reason it just never clicked, but for some reason that video it did, and now I can just adjust it as I need. So 2 cakes, 4 hats, and now those 2 cakes are out of my stash. The rest of the big twist chunky, that's all I had out of 2 skeins of number 5 bulky Felgon. And then this is what I have left of the patchwork. So this is the rest of the rainbow, this is the rest of the patchwork. A little more of the patchwork because I wasn't sure I would be able to get another round out of it before I started the decrease. So I stopped a little early, but I think I could have gotten another 2 rounds out of it before I did the decrease, but oh well. So that's gonna go into scraps with this. All right, so those are the hats. Oh, and I just wanted to, I'm just gonna show you, I got the head to show what it looks like. Oh, I use a 8mm for all the hats. So there's that. So I was just thinking that I had shown in the previous videos or previous clips, wherever it ends up being, however I end up posting it, the skeins I had bought, they were Big Twist Vortex yarns. The colorful ones I made hats and headbands on the knitting machine, the circular machine, but the black and white one, the machine just didn't like it, so those are still there, and I didn't know what I was going to do. But now I'm going to take those and hold it with either white, and I have other bulky colors from Knit Picks that I've had for a while, so I think I'm going to do that. But that's the 1x1 and the 2x2. So I don't know which one I prefer better. So yeah, my head doesn't have a name like Pam's. As what are the names? I wanted to say Mackenzie. It's not Mackenzie. Oh, it's a the tip of my tongue. All her emerald. Or is that the mannequin? But anyway, hi Pam. Okay, so 8mm, and the other yarn that I'm going to use to try to do the same thing, the vortex yarn, that's a number 4, so I may go down. I think, pretty sure I have 7.5mm circulars. These are my Chalus, the interchangeable, but I have thick circulars in 7 and 7.5, so I might use that instead, since it will be slightly smaller. Alright, that is wearable stuff, and I'm trying not to have the needle fall or knock the head over. Alright, what else did I work on? I think it was earlier in the year. There's this pattern, I don't remember who's by, that has rats. And I thought it was adorable, but at the time I wasn't going to buy patterns. And so she says. I still haven't bought that pattern, but I looked at it and I'm like, I can figure it out. So I had made a hat, I made a rat, and at my spring craft fair, this guy, he must have been in his mid-20s, he bought it and he had such a happy smile on his face. It was just so unexpected. So I was pretty sure I'd written down what I did, but basically I wrote down the stitch counts and, you know, where I increased and whatever, but I did not include, you know, changing colors and doing the baubles for the feet or the ears. What I'd done was, after I was all done, so I always have trouble with things lining up, so after I was all done, I go back and I map out where it is, I pick up stitches and like kind of surface on and do the baubles that way. That way they're exactly where I want it. Even though looking at it, you can still see it's a little off. But that's because of the nature of the spiraling. Anyway, you'll always kind of get a little bit of jog there. But it's where I want it, and then I did the same for the ears. I just pick up stitches and I did the ears. But when I did it the first time, I used Bernette blanket, so it was bigger. This, I had a little cake of Carpe Chunky, and this is the Stash Goals yarn from Premier. Anyway, definitely smaller than Bernette blanket. I had made a note in what I had written down that I wanted to take out one of the rows in here. So I did that in here, but I don't know if I like it, because the other one has a little longer snout or face, and I'm not sure which. And I was doing this late, and I definitely, you can't really tell here, but the eyes are crooked. Again, because of the spiral, sometimes when you put the eyes on, they don't look like they line up, and I thought they did, and they don't. Basically, one is here and one is a little down and forward, so he looks a little cockeyed. Doesn't look so on camera, but he definitely is. But I like it. I went down a hook size because this yarn is slightly bigger than the Carpe Chunky when I used it, and I altered what I did for the tail because the yarn is a little thicker, just by a row or two. But yeah, the rat, Father Minion could definitely tell what it was, obviously. He said, no, it's not a mouse, it's a rat, because it's big. So I am definitely going to make a couple more of these to see how they do. Plus, it will help me use up, I have partial cakes of yarn in similar colors, so, and I have more than enough of this. So yeah, my rat. So while I was, all of this was done, 2 of the hats were done, and all the rest of these were done while I was with my parents. So I brought a big bag of yarn with me because I always travel with yarn. And so this is a capybara by Sweet Beans Crochet. She has a YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure, but this pattern is on Instagram. And the thing about this is I had this saved already, didn't realize who it was by, and I was watching Granny by Nature, I think, and they were talking about it. And one of the things they also mentioned that I found in a lot of the capybaras I did, that they were top heavy, so when you did it, when you made them, they tend to like tip over because the head was heavy, but this one balances out pretty nicely. It doesn't tip over, because all the other ones I've done in this shape, they kind of tip over. What I've had to do to sort of combat that is I make the baubles for the front legs a little bigger, so that when it sits, it kind of goes down like that because the front legs are bigger. It pushes this down. But this one, no problem at all. And I didn't have brown yarn with me at the time. This I did when I got home, but I didn't have brown yarn with me at the time, so this is what I had. And this, again, is the Stash Goals yarn from Premier, and it is like seconds. I'm not sure of what type of yarn. Maybe it's that new yarn, like Kim, the Crafty Nomad. Hey Kim. Hey, I cannot talk today. Hey Kim. She had said, because we were theorizing on what type of yarn it is, because some of them are squeaky, some of them are sticky, this pink, and they all look, like I mentioned before, distressed. It's not smooth and new and plump looking. Most of them just look really distressed, and this pink one is awful. It's just, it doesn't, there's no give, there's no glide, and it's very sticky. This green is called Aqua, and it wasn't as bad, and it was plumper, but the pink looks very, very distressed. Yeah, capybara. All no-sew, and of course most of the capybaras don't have like safety eyes. It's just that line, so it makes it very simple to do. Using the same yarn, I made these for my spring fair, and they sold. Or I made them for the fall. They didn't sell. They sold in the spring craft fairs, but it's a chick in frog hat. I made it before. I was like, I wasn't quite sold on it, so I gave it another try. I saw another person who has a similar pattern. I'm gonna give that one a try to see if I like it any better, but it's not something I would rush to go make a whole bunch of. But yeah. The legs, I didn't have any gold or orange yarn, so I just used some, this is Premier Basics, the tie-dye. I have a little leftover from doing the Diddy deck, so I just used it for the feet, and because it's thicker than this yarn, it's nice and plump. Oh. And I don't know if it was Granny by Nature or somebody else I saw, they were doing keychains. Keychains don't do so great for me, so I tend not to make them unless I'm just trying to use up little scraps. But somebody I saw were making little chickens. So I didn't use any specific patterns. Like if you've made the Mabel chicken once, twice, you can, and you're experienced enough, you can figure it out. It's a very easy pattern, so I just wing these, and of course I add the tail because the Mabel chicken doesn't have tail. So I added tail feathers to them. Oh, that's cone. So yeah, just little bits of obviously leftover yarn from this I kept using. This was some Dollar Tree yarn that I have a little bit left in my bag, and this is from, you'll see I use this. This is a yarn, oh, this is gonna cut off on me, from Amazon, that I had a full cake I've been carrying around for whatever reason. So I made a little one out of the, I think I used up all the leftovers, but not quite sure. But yeah, free little chicken. I'm gonna put keychains on them. Whoops, timber. All right, so I was just gonna say, let me pause before it shuts off on me, and it just did. I have to remember to look at the timer because it turns red when it's about to go off, and I keep forgetting that. Again, scraps that I just have at the bottom of the bag. So I made 2 more jump-in spiders. This one, for some reason, a little crooked, like it's looking off to the side, but yeah, it's looking off to the side. You can see it's not very centered and straight. I don't know what I was thinking, but both of them are, what do you call it? The front parts are the basic chenille in tie-dye. This one came out way smaller. This one has 3 different bits of yarn. Is it 3? Yeah. There's this one I started with, ran out after I did the legs. And then I brought in this colorway over here because I had done this already. And then I ran out, and then I used some, what is this? This is just some Burnett, the soft one. I think it's the dappled that I have a cake in my bag, so I added to the top, so it's very, very scrappy. And this is some of that old stiff Burnett blanket yarn. So yeah. And this is some Burnett in the tie-dye colorway. And you can tell this one is much thicker. So yeah, scrappy, great for scraps. I know that Kim, Crafty Nomad, has been doing these with her scraps. It's perfect for those small balls of Burnett blanket. Alright, last three things. I made 2 owls from, is it Alley Crochet? I think it's her, but if not, it'll be down below. But she's a tutorial. If it's not her, it's whoever it is has a tutorial on YouTube that I followed along. Very simple. I pretty much followed along for the first one, and then the second one I just did by I remembered what she did. Simple increases, decreases. You attach and do the arms. You don't have to sew it on, or the wings, and then you surface on and do like 2 stitches, I think, or chain and then slip stitch for the ear. And I didn't have any color that would not blend into that for the nose, so I just used some of the tie-dye yarn so the nose will stand up because it's very speckled. And I was going to use a light brown, but it would have gotten lost, I think, in here. So that's the first one I did. And then this I did. Came out nice and plump and round. This is that Amazon yarn that I used, the chicken, left over in the chicken. And that was the brown I was going to use on here, but I thought it would just blend in a little too much, so I used it on here. I used hand-painted eyes on this one. I think I have like 2 more pairs of hand-painted eyes. This is I think the 20mm or the 18. I can never remember the sizes. That, so I need to paint some more. And then this one is just, I think this is a 16. Maybe the 18. I think this is a 16 with just the sparkly backing that it comes with. And it's a purple one. So, 2 owls. I want to try this in faux fur yarn to see if I can do it, because you know you can't see stitches and you gotta really know what you're doing, but I'm desperate to try it in faux fur. Alright, and then last, again with the Amazon yarn that I had, I made a loaf cat. I don't remember whose tutorial this was by, but it's the basically I didn't need a tutorial. Most of them I used the tutorial to see how they do the ears, because my ears never seem to come out the way I like it. Even when I follow somebody's pattern, it just never looks like theirs, and I don't know if it's because of my tension or what have you, but it's just a simple loaf cat. Yeah, this is sewn on, but so yeah. Oh goodness, I think that's it for now. Like I said, I doubt this will be added to the previous clips because it'll be a long video. So on that note, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Hey, hi, it's Laurel with the Dabbling Hook. How are you doing? Cheers. Today is August 25th. Basically it's fall. Even though it's warm or hot. We've been fluctuating with weather temperatures, so today it's a good one. It's a nice day out. It's a beautiful day out. Like fall harbinger kind of beautiful day. The sun's out. You know, there's fluffy white clouds, sky's blue. We turned off the AC just to, you know, let normal air in, but it's warm. I'm not exactly flashing, I'm just hot because I've been running around this morning. I have the day off. Actually, I have the week off. I am prepping for the dreaded colonoscopy. TMI, but you know, sharing is caring. And I am absolutely famished. Normally, on a regular day, I could go hours without eating. But because I can't eat, all I'm seeing everywhere I turn is food. And my stomach is starting to grumble. And I just automatically go to reach for food. And I can't do that. So I've had a mini ginger ale. I've had a popsicle, not the red or purple. I don't like the purple anyway. And now I am on, pretending it's wine, cold apple juice. No sugar added apple juice, so it doesn't make me thirstier. Anyway, hey, if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I hope you subscribe, but if you don't, I hope you enjoy what I'm about to share. And for you OGs, like I said, cheers. Grab a beverage because this is, I think, clip 2 or 3 of my makes. Like I said, oh my gosh, something's in my eye. I've been running around. I've been finishing off some stuff I made last night. So there's fluff everywhere. I just vacuumed. And I'd mentioned before, my polyfill that I have, it I don't even want to call it sheds. It's just, there's a lot of detritus left. You know, when you go pull it, the box that I had before, it was a whole lot of tiny little pieces at the bottom, but this one is just things floating all over. Kind of like the latte yarn with the little strings. That's what it's like. It gets everywhere. So, all this to say hi again, and I am just going to show some of the things that I've made and some of the yarn purchases. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. New colors from Parfait Chunky, which is not a favorite yarn of mine, but I am learning to work with it. So, excuse me. Sorry, the ginger ale. I'm trying to keep my stomach full so I don't think about food, because I just want to reach for something so bad. Anyway, I bought, I think they already had chocolate. I don't remember if it's new. I think I just bought chocolate just because. Oh, the fluff oh, that's not the fluff. That's the string from the yarn. But anyway, chocolate, yummy. It kind of, looking a little brighter, redder on camera right now, but it's brown. But I think I got this because of the chocolate brown color from the Dollar Tree that I like, but this is plumper, whereas the Dollar Tree yarn is like flat and sheddy, but this is plumper, so we'll see how sheddy it gets. But I love a good brown. And I'm thinking of making a Highland cowl for somebody, but I don't think I'll have time. But anyway, I bought one of these. I bought, this is one of the new colors called Harvest. It's gorgeous. It's a definite reddish brown or orangey red. Not even an orangey red. It's just, it's fall leaf color. Total, oh, so gorgeous. It's pretty. Definitely showing up brighter because I am near the window, but it's just, no, it's definitely brighter on camera, but it's beautiful. Here is more the color. Oh, it's gorgeous next to the brown. Oh, love. Oh, I bought 2, and I just saw another skein over there that I had bought previously, so I think I definitely have 3. Pretty sure it's the same. The other color is Sundown, which is an odd color. This is coming out more blue on camera, but it's definitely more green in person, like jewel tone. Oh, it's right in my wheelhouse. Jewel tone, rich colors. Lovely. The screen is not representing it right, but lovely. And then, oh, this is plum, definitely plum. It's absolutely gorgeous. Focus, darn you. Focusing elsewhere. Let's see. There you go. Plum. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, I love rich colors. Fall colors. Oh, let me put the brown with it. Oh, look at that. I think there are 2 colors that were on back order. One is definitely the Goblin, which is that mossy green, rich, oh, lovely. I can't wait. I have no idea what I'm going to make with it, but I wanted it. I think everyone's been waiting for it or buying it, and it's been on back order, out of stock for a long time. But anyway, so fall colors. I also went to Michael's. I didn't have a coupon or anything. Actually, no, I did. They sent a 40% off coupon in the mail, and I decided, you know. I went to lunch with a friend, and we were just having an easy day, so we decided to just take a drive to Michael's, and we did. She didn't buy any yarn, but I did. I saw on a couple of videos where people said that for markets, this color seems to sell well for them. Thought I'd give it a try, so I went in looking to buy this, and this is Loops and Thread. This is the Sweet Snuggles. They are starting to bring that back in, at least in my Michael's, but I went to see if they had the, was it the Demi Pearl, which is supposed to be their take on the Posh, I think. Not Posh, Plush. But they don't have that yet in my Michael's. They have, at least the one closest to me, they have the Petite Pearl, the variegated type Petite Pearl, I forget what they call that, but they don't have the Demi yet. So, but Sweet Snuggles is back, and I'm hearing that they're not bringing back Home Slim Z. You made a comment about my last video, and I said Home Slim. It's Loops and Threads Home Slim, not homespun, as you thought I was talking about. But anyway, these have always been the same yarns, but it's different colorways. Sweet Snuggles is more geared towards baby colors, whereas the Home Slim is more, you know, richer tone type colors. So I'm very bummed that they're not bringing that back, or I hope they at least bring the colors in Sweet Snuggles. But like I said, more regular and more baby kid colorway, which is not my wheelhouse anyway. But anyway, I got this, and I was hoping to find it in Demi Pearl. They don't have it. And then I was going to use my 40%, and that's all. And in the app, they also have a 30% off coupon. You can't use 2 coupons at the same time, by the way, the way you could have at Joann, where you could stack coupons. So you have to do separate transactions. In the Petite Pearl, they have a few new colors, and this one just sucked me right in as soon as I saw it, and I was debating whether or not I should get that or this new color. But this is called Pumpkin, and it is just chef's kiss. Oh. It's too bright on camera. It is this rich, fall, warm, pumpkin-y, deep orange color, which I love. Now, this Petite Pearl thing is not my jam. Making stuff with this size, not really. So I tripled it, and I will show you. I made one project out of it so far because I just needed to try it, and tripling it works like kind of like this, and it's lovely. All that to say, I bought some yarn and I'm not sorry at all, especially this and these. Not sorry at all. I'm pretty sure it's Goblin and one other color I'm waiting for in the Parfait Chunky. But it's said it was supposed to be available August 22nd, so hopefully it'll be shipping soon because it's the 25th. So, what else have I been working on? The seasonal Yarny YouTube hop, which is run by Came Up to Crafty Nomad, that's coming up. And in my mind, I thought I had so much time left. No. We are like less than a month away, and I haven't started anything. I did want to do another wearable. I am wearing my spring project, which is the tulip lace cardigan. I wore that out today, and I went to the orthodontist today, and yes, I got asked about did I make it. Of course. That's always a nice thing. But I am going to make a wearable, a cardigan with number 5 bulky yarn, and it's in plastic. This is an oldie. I've had this for years. I made shawls out of 2 different colorways last year just to use them up, and I have the last 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 6 colorways. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 skeins left. Yes. 2 of a gray, 2 of this purple, which is called plum, and then 2 of a tealy color. But this is Big Twist Waterford. It was a number 5 roving, not Big Twist, loops and threads. Waterford Big. Like I said, it's roving, thick and thin. It is 80% acrylic, 20% alpaca, and I love it. And these will be my last 5 skeins that I have of them, and I'm hoping to put really good effort into this week making or getting going on the cardigan. We shall see. Like I said, I have my colonoscopy tomorrow, so who knows. I don't remember what it was like 3 years ago when I did it. I just remember them asking me to count, and next thing I know I was waking up hours later. So but yeah, 3 colorways. I'm hoping it's going to be enough for what I'm doing, because oh, I didn't tell you, it is, I did say 80-20 acrylic alpaca, and it is 243 yards per skein, 8.8 ounces, 250 grams, 223 meters. So I think I will be okay. It will be 3 colors, trying to use it all up, and it will be a big chunk of stuff out of my stash. So speaking of stash, I have from last fall's what do you call it, craft season. Is that all of them? Nope, that's not all of them. Oh my, I did a lot more than I thought. Let's see, hold on, I have a bucket here of my makes, and of course the battery's flashing. Why not? So let me change that and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to fight with my tripod because the little top where the camera screws on popped off, and I couldn't figure out how to get it back on. Didn't know there was a lever on the side. Anyway, yeah, a little warm. I did a little light filtering here, so hopefully it's not glaring anymore. But what I was going to say, or what I was saying before, was that, oh, I just broke that. I have been using my Thick and Quick leftovers for pumpkins, and not your traditional orange pumpkin. It's just whatever's left over. I saw that on somebody's video, Awestruck Crochet, I think. She popped up and I was watching an episode, and she was making it, and it was from somebody else's tutorial. Now, I've been making pumpkins and using pretty much the basic kind of make the rectangle, fold it, do that. But I did pop over to the person that she recommended, who I do not remember who it was. I know who it is, I can't remember the name. I made a dragon from her. I'll put it on the screen, who it is. But anyway, I went to look at the video to see if it was any different than the way I've been doing them. And the only difference was at the bottom, she adds single crochets. After she seams the side, she adds single crochets and then decrease a row. That's the only difference from the way I've been making them. So, what else? And normally I use single crochet to keep the holes tighter, but she uses half double crochets. So I did most of them in the half double crochets. I did one in single crochet. So non-traditional colors. I had this, can't even tell, it's like this real foresty green color. Matches. It has speckles in it that you can tell. So yeah, and then I have Gorilla Glue gel that I use to affix the piece of cinnamon. These were longer sticks that I cut, and I've used almost all of it except for I think 2 left, but I do have longer ones that I need to cut. But yeah, so there's one. And what I'm doing with these, I am using you will see a bit of the stuffing because it's half double crochets and it's in the back loop, it's gonna stretch. But I put in the filling, the fiber fill, but I make a little well, and I'm using my scraps in there to keep it sturdy, because in her tutorial she did say she stuffs it pretty firmly, not where it overly stretches, but firmly enough that, because once you start cinching to make the segments, it'll obviously squish down because it starts off taller. So that's one. Then I had this gray. Now this isn't Thick and Quick, but this is one of the cakes, tea cakes, Karen tea cakes, whichever one that has the wool content in it. I had a bit of that left, so I made that one. So it's basically just grays. Oh, and the string is from, I bought a set of buttons ages ago, and I think it was at Joann, or when I used to shop at Hobby Lobby. But all the buttons, they were wooden buttons, and they were held together with this like suede-ish kind of cord. So in her video, she uses, I think it's in her video, or in Awestruck's Awestruck's video, she uses leather strings, and I knew I had this somewhere, so it mimics like either suede or faux leather, but it looks very similar. So I use that. I also had some, this was a cake that had varying colors of gray, so both of these were part of it. I think it was Earl Grey was the color, but don't quote me on that. But so these two, like I said, non-traditional. I had a navy blue. I really like this navy in the Thick and Quick. I don't see it very often, but you can see the string and the cinnamon. You can smell lovely. I had this colorway. I made a French triangle cowl out of this that sold last year, so there was a little leftover. And then I had some like sagey greens, a little bit right here that I ran out of, and then I just added a couple of a blue here, and this is a gray blue color. This isn't Thick and Quick. This one was the Joann natural blend, or nature blend, natural blend. It's a little sturdier than the Thick and Quick, although that was the original. When they redid it, they basically, it was Thick and Quick that they rebranded as that. So yeah, this one is multicolor. And then I had, this is more traditional, this gold mustardy color. Love this one, of course, my color wheel. And then I had all these leftover scraps. I had a little bit of the fisherman color with the sparkles. I forget what that color is called. As well as I had smaller bits of Thick and Quick that I was tying in to make a big ball. So I used as much as the sparkly fisherman color as possible, and I alternated every 2 rows with the different, and this is where I ran out, different colorways. No, this isn't where I ran out. This is where I had this dark colorway, and it ran out there, and it tied into this taupey color. So basically a cute mishmash. And while I was making this, I'm like, this would be a nice hat. So who knows. That's this one. And this one I made way before. This was made while I was in Boston at the parents. I had like a third of a skein of this brown color. I forget, toasted almond, I think. No, the toasted almond is this darker color, I believe. It's like a dark brown black color. But this one I made with, I think, either half double crochets or single crochets, but also with the half double crochet slip stitch. So when you do a normal slip stitch, for the half double crochet, you yarn over first and then you pull it through all. It's very tedious because you kind of hold it to be able to have the hook go through all those loops. So that one, and see, this has the taller bit of cinnamon. I didn't have anything to cut it, so I tried to score it and break it, and it's very jagged, so I gotta fix that. But that one was made long before. These I pretty much made, I made yesterday. I made a few completed yesterday, and then last night I made 4 of them, and then I filled them up today. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pumpkins. So those, they're more like filler for my tables. They sell sometimes, they don't. I've had pumpkins. I think I still have a couple I made with latte, held with something else that's been with me for at least 3 years. But every once in a while somebody will see them and buy one. And I am losing light. I can't believe it is, what time is it? It's 4:20 now, and it's very overcast. It looks like it's gonna rain, where the sun was literally just out. And the sky is no longer blue. It's a soupy gray. That was quick. Anyway, next thing. Oh, my stomach is grumbling. I'm still doing stash busting, trying to use up my number 5 bulky yarns from Knit Picks, along with that vortex yarn that I talked about. So first one, well, this is the 3rd one I make, but I'm going to show you first. I held the vortex, that black and gray and white speckly one, with Knit Picks, 2 different colors of gray and Knit Picks. And then I decided to do a latte one. So because the latte is thinner, I held 2 of the vortex with latte, and look at that. Oh, so touchable, so touchable. So this one is a 1x1 rib, and I just did a normal decrease. The other ones I've been doing like a 4-point decrease, but this one is just a normal. I think this one I did a 6-point normal decrease. But I love these. This one I actually did in a few hours, which surprised me because they've been taking me a while. I don't know, my brain was probably somewhere. And I'm hearing little, yep, rain's coming. That's why I'm hearing the ticking against the house. That's why it got dark. So yeah, this I'm going to make. I have, oh, Kim, this is one of the latte colorways that you sent me. I think this is the Earl Grey one. So I'm going to do, I still have 2.5 skeins of the vortex to use up, and I'm going to do this again with the latte, make a few more. So this, like I said, it's a 1x1. I'm gonna do a 2x2, and I'll also show a 3x2 that I did. So this is the, oh, I gotta hide right there. So this is the 2x2 with the vortex held with the a light gray from Knit Picks. I forget, I think it's called Silver. The dark gray is called Cobblestone, I believe, which I did. But this is a 2x2 with the, you can't really see, but it's just 4-point decrease. Oh, and the rain. I love rain. I love the sound of rain. That's what I listen to go to sleep. But yeah, 2x2. Great way to stash bust if you're a knitter. And I'm sure you can do the, basically this, and do the hat. Seam up the side, cinch up the top, and you're good to go. I may actually end up doing that to use up some of the yarn. But this one is a, just wanted to mix it up, and I did a 3x2. Oh, can you hear the rain? Oh, I love the sound of rain. Ooh. Oh, it is coming down really good right now. Like thick. The sky is just like a gray-white color, and the trees are blowing. The trees are blowing. The tree is moving from the wind. Looks quite ominous, but so yeah, 3x3, and you can see the difference in color. So this is still the vortex, and the vortex does move from a little lighter to darker colorway, but this one is with the silver, and this one is with, I'm pretty sure it's cobblestone, which is darker color. So options. I personally prefer brighter colors, but this will be good for the guys who come into my booth and, you know, want something. So quite happy with that. I need to put another one on my, I'm by the window, I want to make sure the rain's not coming in. Oh wow, it's almost white out. Wow. Hang on, I just did a little recording. Hopefully I'll put that in there of the rain. It's crazy. Like the sun was literally out bright, shiny, and now it's just, whew, deluge. Anywho, so those are the hats. Now for the toys. So last time I had shown, before I show that, this is what I made. I'm making ghosts. I haven't made ghosts in a few years. Sometimes they sold, sometimes they didn't, so wasn't anything I was particularly drawn to. I love the Halloween stuff, but it's so fickle over here that I don't want to make stuff and be stuck with it. So the most I usually did was I would do my octos and do it like in a Frankenstein kind of way with the little, what do you call those? Little stitch marks on it. But yeah, so this petite pearl in this gorgeous, if you could see it, it's so beautiful. I think they had a deep red color too, but this orange just called to me. So I was making ghosts at the time, so when I got home I'm like, I need to try it out with something. So I just made that and I stitched on the eyes, because all the other ones I'll show you I've used safety eyes, but I figured I'll make that. Oh, it's lovely. Doubled up, it has the feel of like posh. Double or tripled up, it feels more like posh when it works up. But love it, love it. This is a ghost pattern very similar to a lot of others, because I've done them before from Rose and Lily and a couple other people, but this is Crochet by Faye, or no, Crochet with Faye, I think, on Instagram. Very similar. Again, somebody else mentioned it, I went to look, and it's very similar to other patterns that other people's patterns I've made. So there's that. So what I was going to show you, the dragons I was making, these were they snuggle bean? Is that what I put last time? I don't remember. I think they were snuggle beans. The light and dark fury patterns, but I didn't have black yarn at the time or white yarn at the time, and I'd forgotten the safety eyes because they needed big safety eyes. Not that I'd forgotten, I didn't have them with me. So I was making all the pieces when I was with my parents, and this was my attempted batch making all the pieces for one, making all the pieces, trying to make things easier for myself. So anyway, I decided to do it in whatever color I had. So you saw the in progress last time, and because I didn't have safety eyes, and the eyes, it uses I think 30 or 35 millimeter safety eyes, so I did my best to embroider as big eyes as possible. Not 100% thrilled with it, but I'm not changing anything. So this is supposed to be the dark fury, and it's funny, I made it in a lighter color, and this is the light fury, and I made it in a darker color. So this is that lovely butternut squash, that's what it reminds, butternut squashy golden color. It looks orange on screen, but it's more golden color. And then this is the Bernat blanket frosting that I got off by for $2.50 from Walmart. So they are done, and I did mention last time that the only thing that you had to sew the wings on and then the head to the body, but you do have to sew the little tail pieces, the tail fins, to each of them. And since this is the dark fury, you know, it's supposed to be the black and the red, I just did, this is from a Dabbled or one of the ombre type skeins, so I just used a little blue, did that. So yeah, baby safe. no safety eyes. So 2 big ones all done. The other thing I made, this was pretty sure it was an Instagram pattern. It was. Again, I saw it a lot of the videos doing the share the love challenge. I think that's what it's called. I know Kim had tagged me in them, but I just, even though I'm making stuff to sit and find a pattern and make it all, I make them when I have time, and I'm not really thinking about that at the time I'm making stuff. But anyway, I saw this one. I mentioned before that I wanted to have regular teddy bears, which I haven't made in a long time. So this was a, like, I don't know if it was a scrap, but each of the things were made in different colors, you know, different color arms, different legs, etc. So this yarn I had there at the time, this was some of the Hirschner's discounted yarn that they were selling for Bernat, the clearance yarn. So this one was just sitting there. This was one of the 5.3 ounce skeins. So I made a teddy bear in that, and I think it's teddy bearish colors. So I think the snout is just a little too long for my liking, but oh well. And it was all, nope, it wasn't no sew. You have to sew on the snout, you have to sew on the ears, and I don't remember if you have to sew on the head, or is it one piece? I don't remember. I want to say you had to sew on the head, but don't quote me on that. But it's definitely not a no-sew, low sew. Teddy bear. All the links will be down below. I am going to try to do a continuous document for my pattern. Just keep adding on to it instead, because what I've been doing is for every episode I start a new one. So to make it a little easier for myself, I hope, I'm going to keep the one from the last episode and just add patterns to it. And I'm going to try to categorize it as best as I can. So hopefully that'll help and make it a little easier. You know, section for koalas like I had last time, dragons, and have all the patterns underneath that. Okay, so that's that. I've mentioned that I wasn't going to make chickens anymore because they really haven't been, I think they've kind of had their day, or the fever around them. It's kind of had its day. Is that all I made? I thought I made more than that. So I just find myself, whatever reason, I think it's just easier just to make them with the leftover scraps, and that's what I've been doing. So I made the typical Mabel chicken pattern. Oh, it's clearing off again. I can see blue skies. Oh, it's funny. But leftover from the bear, I just made a chicken, Mabel chicken. Only difference is I added a bit of a tail to it. So yeah, there's that one. Oh, it's there. The blue that I said I used in the tail hair from that cake, I made something else with it. I will show you, but the leftovers from it, it starts with a light blue and gradually to ombre color. So when I was done with that project, I ended up with the dark blues, and that always makes me think of Stardew Valley, which I've never heard of. I didn't play it until still don't play it, and I don't know a lot about it, but I heard about it earlier this year, and I liked the blue chicken for whatever reason. I think I saw it on Celestial something crochet, her channel, but I looked up what it is. I saw the chicken and I just made it, and I made one in the spring that sold, so I had leftover from the blue and I made two. And I did before, I just did the usual red cone, but I didn't realize in the picture online it's a purple. So this is Dollar Tree, but the rest of it is just Bernat blanket, and I embroidered the eyes. So yeah, two Stardew Valley-esque chickens. It's about to fall. And then I had leftover from making the fox. I've made two foxes from Oh, the loaf cat lady. Why is my brain blanking out? Oh, you know who I'm talking about. I had some orange yarn left, so I made a couple. I made this one first, and I was, again, watching somebody else who was making zombie bees and zombie something else, and I think zombie chicken. I'm like, oh, what a great idea. Something to make it a little different. So I had the orange. I made the orange. I gave it a black cone, red beak, and then I just added the stitch marks in. This one you can't see, but I just heard Minion too. Oh, hang on. Don't worry, I can't see you. We had Minion one sighting last time. Well, you won't see it, but yeah. But anyway, so I did a little zombie Halloween-esque chicken, and I had a little more left, so you can see the size difference. I just made it work. I can adjust it to make it work. I didn't even notice the timer. The beaks, I don't like doing the line across. To me, it doesn't look good. I did it in here, and it's not my favorite. So I usually pick up slip stitch on a stitch, do sometimes a couple of single crochet, depends on how big the chicken is, and then slip stitch back in, and then, you know, tie the ends, or I attach the yarn, chain one or chain two, do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook, and then slip stitch back in to get the pointy or single crochet. Hope that made sense. But and these also have stitched on eyes. I think this is too cute. And this is the color yarn that I had used for the what do you call it, for the foxes that I make. This is Premier Basics. Okay, let's see what else. Almost done. I mentioned I was making ghosts. I made, how many ghosts did I make? I think that's it. 2, 4, 5, and the orange. So I made the orange after, but the first one I made was this one, and I don't want to say I'm not a fan, but I don't know, it just never looks quite right for me, putting on the cheek on the ghost, but she had it in, so I put it in. Oh, what's the name? Willow, Wild and Willow, I think that's the one who did the pattern. She's the one who also had the dragon pattern that I followed along. Pretty sure that's who it is. So yeah, made that one with the baubles for the arms. And then I wanted something a little different, so I deviated, gave it eyebrows, but I gave it long hands instead of the baubles. I kind of like that one, I think, better. I like them both, but I like the hands better. And then I had a little bit, no, I used all the leftover of some Bernat. This was a 3 and a 3.5 ounce skein that I had some leftover. Then I had a little ball of Posh leftover. So I made this one out of Posh. I did the little frilly things a little different at the bottom, not following hers. And I gave it a mouth and the cheek color. So that one, kind of mine. And I had a tiny bit left of the Posh, enough to, I had to rip back a couple of times just to get it. So I made this little one, and I just stitched on the eyes because it was so tiny. I don't like putting in those little safety eyes, and it was so tiny that I just put it on a string. So yeah, just that. So, ooh, I was also watching somebody else who, maybe it was a reel on Instagram, and they're like, you can make it in whatever color, and I do too, but sometimes you forget that. So, which is why I made the orange ghost, because, you know, Halloween. But then I have a cake of Posh, so I did that one, and I gave it the little stitching at the top. I didn't want to do black, but I think I should have. But then again, it makes it different. Oh, the other thing I did, not this one. on one of them, on this white one, I have these small, I think they're 10 millimeter, maybe 12, I think 10 millimeter eyes with the glitter. And I don't know if it's showing up, but when I put in the glitter backing, I put it in on that one. You can kind of see the glitter here, and totally didn't realize I put it on backwards for that one. So it has one glitter eyes and one not glitter eyes. So again, makes it a little different, totally mine. And this is the one I ended up doing the different bottom to it too. So a green, an orange, and whoop, 4 white ones, 2 big ones and 2 little ones. Trying to use up all that yarn, because I have so much leftovers, that, which is why I decided this was such a good idea. So using up Thick and Quick. I think I usually, what do I usually use for that? Whatever yarn that I have available, but my little bits of Thick and Quick I didn't know what to do with. Ta-da! All right, I think just 2 more. I'm not sure if I showed this last time. I might have, but yes, I did. This is when I finished my my summer cardigan or vest. I've used the rest of it, so I did show it. Ignore me. I'm making sure that I'm showing everything else. I believe I have. Oh no, one other thing before I show you the last couple. Z, hey Z, she sent me a pattern from, I don't remember who, but it was a little watermelon slice leggy. Mine is a bit taller because I use Posh, and Posh is more structured, so it came out taller, but the pattern picture is more like that, but mine's a little taller. But a little leggy. She sent me a banana pattern too. I haven't tried that one yet, but I just happened to have all these colors near me at the time when she sent me the pattern, so it was fortuitous. Yeah. All right. Other thing, who was I watching? Somebody who made these, and she had her family do a little contest to see who could do it. I've seen this pattern. It's by Teresa's Crochet Shop, and I've never really been drawn to it. I don't fish, I don't whatever, but the little, what is it called? The tossy top, I don't remember what the name of it is, but I made it. I have not gotten it to flip over at all to stand up. It just falls over. I think part of it is, she said when you make it, you don't stuff down here, you just stuff up here, and it was really hard to gauge when you had the right stuffing up here, so some of it kind of slipped in down here, so it makes it a little bulky. So I had to kind of use a piece of yarn to kind of tack this back to keep it in place. It kept wanting to push up because I put too much stuffing in there, but the flip fish is what it is. So I made one. Don't know if I will make another. Probably not, but there you go. It's all no-sew. Yep, all no-sew. And this is the Stash Goals yarn, discount yarn, the seconds from Premier. Cannot stand this one, at least in the seconds. All right, last thing, the cake of blanket yarn. I did the Friendly Red Fox, which is, she's one of my favorites out there. I have 2 of her ebooks, the A to Z, and then she has the PAL, the Squish Pals, which I need to make things from that. But she has these loveys out, and I want to make those because loveys do okay for me. But I wanted to make some, and I finally got around to it. She has both the lovey type and the stuffed, the plush type of each pattern. She has, she just did it was a brown one. Was it an otter? I don't remember, but that's next on my list, I think. But I did the Triceratops because it's been on my to-do list since she showed it. So I did the Triceratops. Lovey. Oops, little, there is sewing. She had you sew on the arms, and I think you can easily crochet that in as you go, because you make the tail, put it aside, then you do the legs, attach, pick up for the tail, go up here, and she has this neat little disc that she calls it, where it makes it a lot easier to sew to the head, I find. I love that technique. But then you have to go back and sew the arms, and I think you can easily crochet that in. So I'll be doing that when I make a next one. And I did embroidered eyes, and I can never get the thickness of the eyes the same when I do it. But one of them is, this one's a little smaller, but I'm not going to futz with it because I know if I do, I will mess it up. You do have to sew on the horns and the frill and the arms. You can eliminate that part and then just ending up having to sew, oh, you have to sew the head to the neck, to the body. So you can eliminate at least the arms if you just crochet those in as you go. So then you just have to do this and that and that. So frills, head, and horns. So I am going to make the stuffed version to see, and it'll help me sew these on a little better too, because mine's slightly crooked, but again, it gives a character because nobody has symmetry. Not like that. There are people who come close, but nothing's symmetrical, or perfectly symmetrical, I should say. So yeah, I like it. My mother-in-law actually saw it and she's like, oh, I'm like, nope, not for you. So that's all I have. Ooh, I'm going to show you one more thing. Hang on. I do have to, I don't think I showed it in the last video, did I? Maybe in the clip before this, which hasn't been shown yet. The headbands I was doing on the circular machine, I hadn't seamed them up yet, and I have, those are all done and put away. But for the Ami sticks that are out there, oh, it's so addictive. Addicting. Oh, I ordered off AliExpress because I thought I had seen them at the Dollar Tree, but they don't have fun ones. What do you call it? Silicone beads. And I made some Ami stick toppers. Look at that. When I made them, I'm like, oh my god, I got this like little thrill. I'm like, oh, why didn't anybody tell me? These are so adorable. So cute. I was just using the plain stick, or these are metal needles. When I first learned to knit, I went and I bought, I think I bought it off eBay. I bought this set of needles, and I didn't realize they were all going to be metal. I think I bought them off eBay. But it's like a Japanese set. It's got all this stuff in it. It's got circular needles in there. It's got straight needles in there, all different sizes. So I was just using it. And sometimes I push too far and it goes through, and I'm like, oh, that's what the toppers are for. So I bought them. Oops. They came. I bought just some these really pretty, I was gonna focus, floral ones here. It's very subtle. And then these the round floral ones, and then I bought the topper ones, little daisies, or no, daisies, or this one looks like a, what do you call it, sunflower, or it could be a sunflower, but it's so pretty. I could see why people get all, you know, I don't know, gaga about it or whatever, but I have them. I don't need to, just like stitch markers, I have a gazillion stitch markers. A lot of them I made myself, some I've been gifted, some I bought. But I usually just go back to like the true and tried plastic ones. The other ones to me are more decorative, unless I have hook minder numbers on it. But it's just so cute. I got such a thrill out of them. It's so pretty. Not cute, it's pretty. It's so pretty. I did watch somebody of how they were doing it. I don't want to put glue on them in case I want to change it, but it's sturdy enough that it's not going to go anywhere, but it's so cute. The top of the Oh, it's not gonna show. There you go. The top of the needle is sticking out there, but I guess that's what the glue would be for, to keep it just in place, but it doesn't matter. It's so cute. I'm just going on and on because they're just so cute. And these are so not my colors. This pastel-y, little serene, genteel, that's what it gives me. But it's so pretty. I can't help it. It's a good thing I don't use them all, because then I'd go buy all the beads and do all the things. But no, I don't need another thing to obsess about. But it's just so pretty. So yeah. I might do that to all my others, but I don't need that many Ami sticks, to be honest, so I'll control myself. Look at them. It's so pretty. It's soft. And I'm usually the bold colors, but it's just so soft and pretty. Oh. Anyway, why'd you guys tell me? But I'm glad you didn't tell me, because, you know, I'll be able to control myself now. Okay, on that note, I think that is going to be all for now for this 2 or 3 clips or whatever they are. And yeah, I'll keep making and I'll keep sharing as best I can. October is going to be ridiculously busy for me, work-wise, parents-wise. I'll be gone for like a whole 2 weeks from home. So yeah, who knows what I will be doing. I'll still be crocheting for my sanity, but who knows. And I do need to crochet certain things because it's still craft fair season. I have 2 craft fair, no, 1 in October, the beginning. So yeah, right when I get off 1 week there, at the end of that week is a craft fair. And I have a few days off, and then I'm back. And then, anyway, all that to say, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for spending some time with me, watching me ramble on and on, prattle on and on. And pray for me that I survive. I'm so hungry right now. I know it's all in my head because normally I can control it, but because I can't eat, I want to eat. So on that note, I'm gonna go play with yarn and keep myself in check. All right, bye.